Yes, good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming out for hopefully our last meeting of the summer. And with that, is there any changes to the agenda? Michelle or Kevin? If there's not, I need a mover and a seconder to accept. Brad and Caitlin, all in favor? Thank you, carried. Any disclosures? None. Minutes of our last meeting of March 27th. Have you had a chance to review them? Anything to bring up on those? If not, a mover and a seconder, Dave and Chris. All those in favor? Carried, thank you. Number 4, Earth Day. Just a little, I'll start off, just a little summary of what went on April 22nd, if memory serves me right. We had a full house, vendor-wise, exhibitor-wise. We had a very good attendance, close to 500. I believe the gifts we had, we ran out. That we gave one per person. Everybody was vendor-wise, everybody was very satisfied and asking me, well, you should be doing one a month of these things, and my answer was no. There's one Earth Day per year, so that the work and that everybody put in, Joan, you especially, committee members, staff was tremendous. Most everyone has asked me to come back, Sudbury Boat and Canoe, Sudbury Solar, the ones that we had like this. They said they'd be back next year. Most of our local vendors, same thing. People though dwindled down around 2:00. So we had advertised till 4. We pulled the plug because there was just everybody was packing up and leaving, so it was no use. So that's about it. Joan, would you?
Yeah, I guess I would just say that, maybe we should end it at 2 at the latest, another time next year. And I mean, a couple of things. I'd love to see more families out. I don't know why. Does anybody know? Is there something else going on that day? But we really have to make sure that, families know about it. And the whole Science North thing, I found it awkward because they were trying to do their presentation and it was noisy. There weren't that many kids showing up. I don't know how we could do that better. Have them in a special spot or something. I don't know. It's hard in the community center like that because it is one big area. And also I was thinking that maybe we should have the food inside because it might encourage people to stay around longer. And anyway, that's it for now.
Kevin, Michelle, you want to add anything? The hard no? Anyone else comment? Because I know most of you visited there. Hey, Mr. Chair.
I would just say that it really surprised me, the attendance. I thought that was just great, both in terms of the people who were exhibiting or coming there to show off stuff and the attendance that was there. I thought it was just wonderful. I was impressed, let's put it like that.
I just want to say one more thing. I think it was a success in terms of the municipality. I think, gave away all those blue boxes and it was good. Did you get any comments about or criticism about the garbage program? Or were people pretty happy?
No, no one spoke to me.
Okay, good.
Okay. Next year, we will be looking for, and I guess in our fall meeting, we will be looking for one more member on this subcommittee. So I'm just warning you in advance. Can't see. 4.2 food recycler, and we got my mic was off. 4.2 food recycler. I'm gonna pass the to Michelle.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So we had the delegation back the last meeting, which was March 27th. Food Cycler had put on a presentation for us, and there was interest in receiving more information regarding other municipalities, their population, and what they were using for participation. So how many units they were purchasing for their program to run. So in the report that's attached to the agenda, it just has a brief overview of the recommendation for a 12-week pilot program from the Food Cycler. And then it went into to list the municipalities, the northern municipalities, their population and the food cyclers that they have within their community. We did have a recommendation based on the interest of this committee. And that was to endorse the Food Cycler initiative and to present it to council.
Thank you, Michelle. Comments? Dave?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. Just looking at the numbers, so I'm looking more at Wawa and Cochrane because they have like Wawa has close to our our full-time residents, and Cochrane has close to our seasonal and full-time residents. So we'd probably be looking at about what they have. They both have 100, something in that area, but I guess we'd have to kind of make a survey of some kind to see who would want to take one and all and that, but I think we should make the recommendation to council to push this through.
Well, the recommendation here from staff to us is to go with 100 household, 100 units. Anyone else want to chime in on this? Caitlin?
I think it's a great idea. I think we should present this to council and hopefully get their support to start this pilot project and see how it goes.
Thank you. If there's no other comments, would I have a mover and a seconder? I have Dave and Caitlin that we present this system to council. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. .3 roundtable. I had the chance to speak with our CAO today, and he said, ask Kevin to give you a very brief outline of what's going on with the negotiations, and he said probably it'll be just that you're ongoing negotiations with the Ministry of Environment for our new system, garbage system, the bins. And okay.
So the process to bring forth an amendment to our C of A for the waste collection system is a 45-page document for an administrative amendment. The document has been completed, but we're currently fabricating the new site plans Once the site plans have been completed, they'll be submitted to the ministry for review. And then we will receive feedback on the draft that has gone to the ministry. And at that point, we'd get whatever feedback or questions to the municipality, approval or deny at that point.
Through you, Mr. Chair, as well. I'd just like to add that we are on our timelines. We did present to council that this process would take approximately 6 months, just dealing with the C of A amendment. So we are still looking at a 18 to 24-month implementation, so.
Thank you for that input, and I apologize. I picked up the phone a couple of times today to give you a call, to give you a heads up, and wait till you get retired. You'll see you have no time. Thank you. Round table. Yeah.
It'll be kind of interesting when we take this food recycling thing to council to see what the reaction is. I think a quick calculation was where the council would be looking at 10 grand or something to have to put into this thing if we got 100 people to sign up. And, but whether we can get 100 people to sign up might be the bigger question. That's all. I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you. Joan.
Sorry, well, I'm a bit out of the loop. I don't know what you guys were talking about. Like, what is the plan for garbage?
The motion that council passed last year for the bins. And right now, as staff is negotiating or
You're talking about
informing,
compacting the garbage and at those two sites, that's what
Mm,
you're talking about?
not really. Kevin?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, so we're just implementing what council asked for was we're gonna go to the 2 sites. And before we can proceed anymore, like we have to get a certificate of amendment, like we have to get that changed with the ministry. So that's just the stage we're in now. So we're just bringing them the plan, what we're gonna have, the layout, how it's gonna be, and then they comment back to see, you know, what their thoughts and if they're gonna approve it or not.
So what are you asking for?
Exactly what council, remember the huge report that we brought forward, February? That we're gonna go to the 2 sites, just Noelville and Alvin, with 40-yard bins for waste.
Oh, so
same.
you're saying that you have to ask the ministry to change to do that, okay? Without a compactor? And with,
No, it's with through you, Mr. Chair, it's just for the sites, how we decide to deal with the garbage. It's just gonna be, you know, we're gonna lay out like what equipment we're looking at using, but it's not that in depth yet. We still need to get hours of approval and a whole bunch of other things done before that.
And like was mentioned before, all this, I'll call it red tape and the 45-page, it's at least a 6-month process. Anything else, Joan?
just to warn you that I am going to be making I am still interested in making a presentation to council about climate change.
Okay,
Life has been a bit difficult lately, but I'll get on it.
Brad.
Really nothing right now for me, but there's the one item I wanted to ask you about. It was an email I sent to you. As part of the Lake Partnership Program, that we have a few locals that partake in water sampling. Notice that there's a sample site on Wolseley Bay that was particularly high in its total phosphorus effluent. And unfortunately, that was August 2022. The government isn't exactly giving us the results in a timely manner. So it seems that they're about a year out. But there's a big, in this one area, the one sample collected was 170 micrograms per liter. And the secondary sample was 36 or 38 micrograms per liter. The first one, yes, big and only. The second one, more within the realm of that particular area of what it usually collects. There's no real accepted limit. It's just rated on low versus high. In that area is always high. The average acceptable is generally down around 16, 12 to 16. 16's even pushing it high. Yeah,
The result of the lagoons.
that's kind of what I was thinking, is
Sure
it
it
might
is.
be due to a discharge from the lagoon or something happened somewhere, just in and around that time period, so.
It could be septics from cottages too, that are, who knows what's over there.
Could be a lot of things, but I just sort of brought it to Bob's attention to say, this happened. Is it worthwhile that we keep an eye on things, perhaps?
I think it's worthwhile. What I'll do when I can get the internet is I'll forward it to you, Dave, and I'll forward it to you also, Dean. It is email and that information.
Where is this, what part of the ministry are you dealing with that, the MNRF,
Lake Partnership Program is through MOE.
MOE?
Yeah, we send all our samples to Dorset.
Is there any way we can get the results any faster so we can,
I tried.
no,
I've even begged and said, you know, is
the
there-
year off, like by the time you see the results, if you have to do something, it's too late.
Yeah, exactly. No, and I've used those arguments as well, and while they are sympathetic, it's, sorry, this is just the way it is. They have I guess their checks and balances, how they deal with things, and
Generally speaking, Mr. Chair, though, our
Your button.
our company that looks after our lagoons, so to speak, they take measurements of the dump when we're dumping in the spring and fall. Don't they check what's going out in terms of analyzing the outflow? Like, they know about what's coming out of those lagoons in terms of any of the makeup that in the discharge, I think. And so far, at least they've not brought anything to our attention that's seriously wrong or too high.
And
But it could very well be that, as Dave was saying, that maybe there's one of the lodges or the cottages down in the bay that right now that some of their, I don't know what.
There's a lot of lodges in the area, there's a lot of cottages, some of them are water access.
Yeah.
I remember this being a question years ago when there was a different administration on council. This same question came up about high numbers in Woolsey Bay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you, Brad. Chris?
Thank you for the report. It was enjoyable. Not enjoyable, it was, I watched the council meeting when Aqua did the presentation, but part of your certificate of approval for the lagoon, there are readings that Aqua has to submit to Ministry of Environment that would flag when the discharge. But they also mentioned in the report to do an infiltration study. So that's something that council should be looking at, both on your distribution system going into the lagoon. You should be looking at your pipes in the ground, and then also the lagoon and the maintenance that's required at the lagoon. It's a complicated process to take the sludge level out, but it has to be done over a period of time, and that should be budgeted and forecasted for. But you have other factors that could be going into the Wolseley River, but everyone keeps looking at the lagoon first. That's why Aqua, you got a good company that does the reports, and the MOE follows that. So it helps on it, but it could be something in the water course that someone could be dumping or something filtrating out, or fertilizer in the fields and stuff like that. So, but anyhow, that's all I have.
Thank you, Chris. Back here to You, Caitlin? No? Dave?
Just going back to the food cycle, when we do make the recommendation to council, are we gonna have some kind of presentation like we had here, or we're just? gonna
I
explain it
believe we'll
ourselves?
have this same presentation. What
What they
the
presented here.
recommendation here. I,
Through you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, we're just gonna give the same report here because it's already went to the committee. And any counselor can come back and I think everybody does watch, all the other counselors do watch our meeting minutes, so
Right,
I'm sure they are all aware of what is going on.
and I guess they can look back at the video that we had the presentation. Thank you.
and once, if council approves that, I guess we'll all, I know I'm gonna sign up for it.
Me too.
So you too, so it'll be open out there if any of you are interested. Dean?
I was just curious with what information we had so far. With what information we've had so far on this food recycle, and the communities that have adopted it or seem to have been able to attract 100 or more people, do they come up with any particular methodology as how to get people to sign up?
I'll pass it to you, Kevin, but I think it's just mostly, I would think word of mouth and advertising that this is a good thing.
And this is just
Kevin
a pilot
probably
project.
had a plan. Maybe having some kind of banner like we had made for Earth Day that we could put at the entrance of the dump. That maybe some kind of little advertising like that.
I don't think 100
Through
people will
social
be hard.
media.
I don't think 100 people will be hard. That's just a pilot project. 100 people is not a, like, I think it's gonna be fairly easy to get people to sign up to this.
Maybe once they know it. And the idea.
The staff does pretty good at advertising on the website and
Yeah.
Facebook and.
The
some
idea
other-
of having the people, having them, this is what, a $500 unit?
Mhm.
And if it's costing him 150, there is some ownership. And that people will use it because they've put some money in it.
Yeah,
Chris?
Through you, Chair, I knew I'm part of the horticultural, so you can probably team up with the horticultural people. They have their newsletter to go through. So there's, I don't know how many people are in the horticultural group. Let me say there's 60. There's a good large number that they can get a presentation. They may be someone keen on doing it for themselves. So there's different senior club in different groups, schools might be the other people to use it. So.
I don't think 100.
I haven't seen, it hasn't been out yet, our agenda for next week, but do you know if this is gonna be on it? You don't know, or it's not?
Through you, Mr. Chair, it won't be on it. Is the next, when it does go to council, we'll have a targeted approach of how, like, staff feels like it should get rolled out. To, people who rent would have priority, people in smaller places, obviously, we'd want to get to them first. 100 units is not a big option, so people that don't have the ability to do a backyard compost, we would try to target them first and then go on. It'll be a more comprehensive report to council when it does go. And budget, we'd have to discuss as well.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, Dave? I don't usually open it up to the public, but since we have one public and he took the time to come out, and I think that was a head shake no. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. If there's nothing else, I need a motion to adjourn. I have Dave and Caitlin, those in favor of the motion, and that is carried. Thank you.
I won't get money there, it's